you make sure that there's always a steady flow every month, and you make sure that you're always ahead of inflation, and you make sure that you don't have any debts. So it's not just being in debt freedom, but you also need to grow your wealth exponentially as well. Hello everyone, this is Ronan in Blue, just taking my daily walk here today. And today's topic would be on, is debt freedom just the beginning? So it's been about 3 years now since we've paid off our mortgages. And we actually became completely debt free at that moment. And I remember that day. And strangely enough, for one of our mortgages, I recorded the phone conversation with the bank representative, and he congratulated us, telling us that we no longer have any more payments to make towards our mortgage. It was a pretty awesome feeling. And not only did we pay off our mortgages, we also paid off our car loan as well. So at that moment, we no longer had any loans to pay for. You know, we were no longer indebted to anybody. It's a pretty awesome feeling. And the only real debt that we need to worry about today would be the credit cards debt on a monthly basis. So it makes life a lot easier. But the question becomes, what happens after debt freedom? You know, what happens after you no longer have those loans to pay? And there's a lot of unknowns to it. You know, we decided to take the route of financial independence. And really the key to becoming financially independent is to get rid of all your debt. Some of my friends were saying, why pay off your debt when the interest rates are so low, right? And it was a hard decision at that time. Because yeah, I mean, they're right. Why pay off your mortgage when the interest rates were so low? Because you could have used some of that money to invest it to get more yield from the stock market, as an example. But the thing was, we already had enough of a surplus within our stock account and to easily pay off our mortgage. But you're essentially financially independent anyways if you have enough money to do so as well. You're already financially independent if you have enough to pay off your mortgage. But there's still a lot of unknowns being in financial independence, right? And I think because of this pandemic that's come around, it actually exposed a lot of things when it comes to personal finance. And for us, what it exposed was our method of getting to financial independence actually worked. It actually worked. Like even with this pandemic, our personal finance, it's still on track. We are still growing our net worth. And it's all because we paid off our debt. And I can say with certainty that the method that we followed over the years does work. And we are proof of that. And we will continue to be proof of that. And I'm very happy that we did follow this path in financial independence, towards financial independence. But like I said, there's still a lot of unknowns. But we can't actually pinpoint exactly the moment in which we hit financial independence. But thinking back, and what I mean by that is thinking back, it was basically our behavior or our mindsets that made the biggest difference. You can learn all of these strategies on how to make more money, how to save money, but in the end, it's really your behavior that makes the biggest difference. You know, it's actually 80% behavior and 20% knowledge. You have to really discipline yourself and to be able to apply those things that you learned along the way towards financial independence. But then today, when I think about it, we were really living against the norm of society, especially the last 15-year period we spent on getting to financial independence. And what I realized was that anyone could achieve financial independence. There's really nothing special about us at all. We're very average people. And the philosophy that we followed, the principles that we followed over the years can be applied by anybody, no matter what their background would be. Whether they're single or with a partner, or a couple with kids, married, not married. It doesn't really matter what your background is. And it's a simple concept. Just to get out of debt and to live below your means and to save and invest. So following those core principles have brought us to the lifestyle that we live today in financial independence. And although we're not too certain of what the future will hold for us, as long as we have a surplus on a monthly basis and we're able to invest and further grow our nest egg, grow our net worth, then I think it's worth being in this lifestyle, in making work optional. But sadly, you know, this isn't an occurrence to just North America, but throughout the whole entire world. I would say 99% of the majority of society are in debt. You know, debt has become normalized. In order for you to get anything and everything, you have to be in debt to get your home, to get your car, to get the materialism, to get that instant gratification. Debt is the tool that has been very much normalized. And I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, people are maybe so frustrated today with their lifestyles, because they're always trying to keep up with having the most luxurious car, you know, the most luxurious lifestyle, almost mimicking what the rich are, right? But the thing is, if you look at a lot of the examples of the rich, I mean, they do flaunt their wealth with the materialism that they have, but a lot of them actually might be your next door neighbor, and they don't have those fancy vehicles. You know, they drive a cheap Toyota, and they live below their means. But I can tell you, on the day that we got rid of our house loan and car loans, money immediately started to grow for us. I mean, and it makes sense. You don't have any more loans to pay. And it was an interesting feeling, because all of that money that we used to make in living that paycheck to paycheck existence and having that 9-to-5 job always went towards paying off our debts. And it was no longer the case. All of the money that comes in today goes directly into our pockets for us to do as we please. But since we've lived this lifestyle of minimalism and frugality for over a decade, we got used to this lifestyle. You know, at first, when we started this journey towards financial independence, maybe it felt a little bit like depriving yourself. But after a while, you kind of get used to this lifestyle. And that's definitely what happened to us. We got used to it. And even being in financial independence today, having no debts and having that surplus on a monthly basis, we still continue to invest. We still continue to increase our net worth. And we don't feel like we're depriving ourselves at all. It doesn't feel like that at all. I like the simple things in life. We like the simple things in life. And, you know, just taking walks like this and enjoying the sun, the warmth of the sun on my face is absolutely free. You begin to kind of realize those things once you don't have any debt. It's like you don't have to worry so much about money anymore. And you grow this certain level of relaxation, and you start thinking more about yourself. And because we're out of the rat race, we're out of that treadmill existence, we don't have to think about too much about material competition or think about growing yourself in that corporate world, having all of that pressure. It's nice just having to be walking around the middle of the day with no particular purpose. I mean, that could be an issue as well. You kind of lose a certain degree of purpose. I mean, I wouldn't say it's just an adjustment to a new lifestyle. The purpose before was to work that 9-to-5 job, get that paycheck, pay for your materialism. But now it's just, the purpose is trying to find the real things that you're passionate for. And it's nice. You're actually forced to use your imagination to figure out what you want to do and who you want to spend your time with. Because at work, you're kind of forced to be with the people that you work with. You don't necessarily have a choice. But now, you can just pick and choose who you want to hang out with. Not with the intent of growing your career ambitions, but just to be hanging out with people you like to hang out with. To be yourself. You don't have to pretend anymore. So living a debt-free life, the way we have been living anyways, doesn't necessarily mean that you're completely retired. You're semi-retired. And what needs to be focused on would be in creation of multiple income streams, which we have been creating. And we have all this time on our hands where we have to think of ways to fill it up, but at the same time making some more passive income. And there's a Japanese philosophy called ikigai. And ikigai would mean in finding the things that you're passionate for, but to also make an income from as well. And you have to figure out what the world needs and what you can provide. But living a life of debt freedom gives you the opportunity to look at other forms of passive income that you can potentially grow. And For us so far, we have dividend paying stocks, and we also have rental income from our tenants. And now we have this YouTube channel as well. And my girlfriend's working on a couple of things herself. They haven't really took off just yet, but then we have plenty of time right now to figure things out, and we have time to fail and attempt these things. And it's a great opportunity to explore a world beyond just the corporate world of that 9 to 5 and getting that income. So I'm really grateful for becoming time rich and having this opportunity to see how far I can make it into this world without that 9 to 5 job and doing something that I really enjoy doing. So that's the bottom line. But what I find true is that most people don't know where their money is going. And the people who are in debt, they're never satisfied with what they have. You know, they're in that world of always wanting the best. You know, the bigger the better mentality in North America. It takes a lot of discipline to get out of that mindset, because that's what the majority of society wants you to be in. You know, they want you to get into that debt and to go ahead and spend, because that's what runs our economy. You know, the more debt in circulation, it means that there's more of an exchange of the monetary system between hands. And you'll find that when you're debt free, you'll start to recognize a lot of the sales gimmicks out there. So you tend to be very selective of what you buy. So you start to really identify all of the advertisements and the commercials and what they're trying to push on you to buy. And the thing is, we can never be scammed because we don't spend a lot of money. But I mean, there are situations in which we splurge, of course. You know, we have that choice every month because we have that surplus at the end of each month to either invest it or splurge on the things that we want. But people who are debt-free, they don't necessarily have the money that they gain rule them. They do the opposite. You know, they make sure that the money that they accumulate is so they could further make money, right? So they rule over the money. And in the majority of cases, people are the exact opposite. They always have the money rule over them. So that's another difference, you know, being in a debt-free world, because you rule over the money that you accumulate, not the opposite. If you're debt-free and you have that extra surplus and you leave it in a savings account or a checkings account, the money isn't working for you. It's not doing anything. So that's why I always emphasize save and invest, because you want to take that surplus and grow it exponentially. And you make sure that there's always a steady flow every month, and you make sure that you're always ahead of inflation, and you make sure that you don't have any debts. So it's not just being in debt freedom, but you also need to grow your wealth exponentially as well. And what you do with that surplus will really depend on you. So you can continue working if you wanted to. I mean, especially if you liked your job, then you can go ahead and work that job, not necessarily for the money, but maybe for the people, and maybe for where you believe in the company goals. But it all depends on you. But the choice is, you have that choice of a lot of options that are presented in front of you. So, well, I think I have my vlog here today. Tell me what you think of what life would be like after you get rid of all of your that's in the comment section below. If you like this vlog, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell for more of my coming content here. Thank you for watching my vlog. Be free, gain wealth, and travel far.